Yeah.
Looked last night, said
Zero.
it's clear.
0% chance.
Yeah.
You even said that while it was raining.
Not worried about it, came out this morning.
Okay.
Guess I'm
It's
not
out.
driving that this morning.
Same as.
Okay, I got 6:30, let's call this meeting to order. First up is any visitors who would like to address the council. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on. JPR.
All right, for those of you who got the little memo that I passed out, we'll just run her down. First, to go over the Lawrence Ditch Culvert study, we sent a revised proposal to the Elkhart County Surveying Department for review. Once they agree to a tentative budget, we'll begin writing bid specification and then advertising the project for construction. On the south side utility extension, we met with town staff in May to discuss the expansion area, further growth, and the scope of the project. We will submit a formal opinion of probable cost with graphics for review next week. On the CCMG project, we have no updates to present. Moving on to the wastewater treatment plant improvement projects, Dan Byam has provided us with a new schedule, review of 90% plans of the town in June, complete 100% plans and specs in July, submit for construction in July, submit for permits in July, bid advertisement in August, receive bids in September, and then notice to proceed October, and then complete construction by April 27. We hired GME Testing to conduct soil samplings and get the geotechnical analysis. They're expected to begin doing soil borings in the next coming weeks. On to the water system improvement project. GPR is working with Alex Michael to estimate construction costs for the modifications to the water distribution network to improve pressure in that south side area. We will present revised costs in June for review by the town before moving forward with design and permitting. Any questions? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Katie.
First item is a fiscal plan that Baker Tilly prepared for the property that we're looking at annexing in south of town. So that's on a Google Drive for the council's approval.
Southwest.
Yes. The west annexation would be the CSO lot that's west of town. Another item, any questions on that one? Another item I've been working with Baker Tilly on is implementing storm fees, as we've been discussing the last couple council meetings. In my Google folder, I gave Baker Tilly the items that I gave them for past storm expenses and then future storm expenses. When we took the average of those, it could be like $36 a month storm fee, which we're not looking, my understanding was we're not looking at implementing that large of a storm fee. If we were, we would definitely want a further study. Down at the bottom of that report, Baker Tilly provided information that in 2022, Indiana's average storm fee was $5.30. If we looked at going with an amount that's closer to that state average amount for towns that are under 5,000. We could also look at increasing the wastewater at the same time, a 3 to 5% range that we've discussed previously. And our ordinance could also state that we would want to do like that 3 to 5% range, whatever we would choose that percentage to be every 3 years or 5 years or whatever. So we don't have to keep that coming back and revisiting it. We would just kind of put that in place. That way we have slow, steady, small increases rather than big jumps like we've experienced the last few years with some of our other bonds. So if that's something we want to move forward with, the next step would be have ordinance prepared, and then we would just need to decide what dollar amount we want the storm fee, and if we want to include the wastewater increase at the same time or not.
The other part of that is we have looked at water after, when we just spent kind of increasing that, I think, percentages too,
Yeah.
to keep maintaining what we have.
Yes. Wastewater we increased in, let's say the end of 2020 and then beginning of 2021, we did it in 2 steps. It's been a little bit longer. But I like the idea of doing water rate increases, small increases more regularly as well. That's currently not written into our ordinance.
Do you have, say we were close to that 530 number, do you have like an amount that would generate
Yes. So
per
if we take-
year? Like what that, what that would look like, yeah, just so we kind of know, like, oh, where are we gonna be?
If you take that $5.30 times 780 customers, times 12 months if you want to do the annual amount. Times 780 customers. That would give you just under $50,000 a year. And then for the existing facility, that all
Any other questions?
No, my initial thought is, I'm wondering if we should lower the percentage and do it for wastewater, stormwater, and
Do all three of them at the same time?
alternate them. I don't know.
Yeah, like 1 year, one, yeah, like a 3 year. Instead of letting it go.
Just so.
6%. Yeah. I like that thought.
I'm just looking at the numbers. And 780 houses, $5 a house.
Right.
We're never gonna come close to completing one project on our list.
Well, that's what I was looking at, you get the railroad street curb, it's only 15,000. I said, yeah, so, but most of these projects are over that.
So implementing it, until they get 50 grand a year, is it worth implementing? I know we're supposed to have it, right? We need to have it.
Yeah, our storm and wastewater are separated.
Well, you gotta start somewhere too, and adding $5 to bills. Make everybody happy. So,
I think it's a good starting point. And reevaluate, at least maybe we'll get some money in that. If we need to do a full-blown study at some point, then we can go that route too. But just some money there to help offset some of this. I know a lot of it's going to be general fund right now. So I think it's a great start. And
So I don't want to get off into the weeds too much on this. I know with the county, they do ERUs, don't ask me what it stands for, I don't remember what exactly it stands for. Equivalent residential unit. They end up charging more for your commercial,
surface area.
yeah, and surface area. I'm assuming we have our commercial clients kind of in an own group that we could easily set kind of two prices for, right?
Yeah.
So say it would have to be, right? Because it's not fair to you one in here's house,
Right.
be paying the same amount as what the whole Thor complex is paying.
Yeah.
The whole Forest River complex, you know, there's
Right.
square miles of property versus our postage stamps that we live on.
Yeah, and we can do that study without becoming, is it UED?
You're talking the ERU.
ERUs, yeah, we wouldn't have to necessarily join the MS4.
That comes more.
Yeah, there's a lot more, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know if we just kind of set two separate amounts, you know, of residential and then the commercial one.
Makes sense.
That way it's not just. I don't have to be too drastically different numbers, but
Is that they do it off of the percentage of surface.
hard surface,
Right.
Right.
Growth.
But we don't have really, we don't really have the manpower to go around and,
Figure it out.
yeah, so take the time, yeah, so.
Do you guys have any experience in that? With stormwater implementation and how they categorize residential and commercial and industrial?
I do not. That would be a question I can definitely bring up to more senior people at JPR.
I think you guys helped the county a little bit here and there, so. But I don't know if we want to go that far into it, or if we just want to,
We can ask them if they have
Maybe
communities
step.
that just kind of stair step between the two, that they work with, kind of their recommendations. To make it, yeah, so it's not one sided. Everybody pays the same thing, it's not fair to the residential customer.
well, and if you make them a little more expensive, then that'll kind of boost that initial budget number. I mean, it's not bad, I guess, it might be.
No, it makes sense.
You know.
Without doing
Expect
a
that.
study of how much
So,
surface of business had, I don't know. It's kind of the same idea, if you charge all businesses the same amount, when you have such drastically different sizes and surfaces.
Yeah.
You almost have to do a study.
in my opinion, I think we should do the flat rate right now, and I know it seems unfair, but knowing that down the road, we need to divide that to a different stair step category.
We could still do a flat rate for the commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If it's
different.
just, right, just
Doesn't
slightly
have to be
higher,
crazy anymore.
right.
Then you had the Cook's Pizzas paying the same amount as
It's
the
lower, right?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, but also Thor has some retention. Cook's probably has zero retention. Well, I don't know, depends on how full the public gets on it sometimes, but anyway. So, right,
The more you talk, the more it gets
Complicated. Yeah.
so,
It's hard to pay for a study right now if you don't even have any funds.
Right.
So do a flat rate to just get it started.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Exactly, yep. It's a summer to start.
So is that how other communities do it? Do we know?
Breeden does a flat rate. They didn't choose to go through all the different, but they do have different tiers. I don't remember what the numbers
I think we talked at Green, Bristol, and Middlebury.
Bristol's an MS4, so
Yes,
they'll be in there.
yeah. They actually calculated and we
Napanee probably be a good one.
Napanee, Middlebury.
Middlebury's MS4, I think.
so
You don't think so?
they're outside the MS
Why
four.
don't you check with surrounding communities? And while you're checking, ask them how often they increase their wastewater and their water, and if they're on some special or percentage wise, what they, how they kind of help themselves out.
I mean, to me, it makes sense if we're gonna have 3 separate fees, it's every 3 years or every 6 years.
Right.
Just rotate one.
So it would be storm and waste, water,
And water,
water,
and yeah, we do all three of them.
wastewater and storm would be one.
No, I said you're gonna have 3, so you'd have
Wastewater.
wastewater,
stormwater.
and you'd have storm, and you'd have water.
Increasing one per year on like either a 3-year rotation or a 6-year rotation. So you increase one, take a year off, increase.
Would we, implement trash at some point? I guess in my mind, I was thinking trash would be the third one, water, and then sewer and, storm together. But, just throwing that
At the same
out there.
time,
We're not there yet.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think we need to tighten up our other spending before we take away trash.
I know 5 years ago, when Gordon like more than doubled our trash service. It's bad timing to implement it then, but kind of needed to, but we didn't want to do it at the same time. Because water and those were priority. Next item is a MUS committee agreement with Elkhart County. Elkhart Treasurer and Elkhart County met and discussed bullet dollars that are have the potential of going away. This agreement's non-binding. It is just a piece to provide to the state that shows that we can come to agreement how those bullet dollars could be distributed, which would be very similar, almost exact amounts of what we're receiving now. Any questions on that one? We're very fortunate that Elkhart County is being generous and making this proposal and coming to this agreement to help towns and cities in Elkhart County to keep their lit dollars possible.
For now.
Yes, the state has to prove it, but Elkhart County really going after that. Next item is salary ordinance amendment for public works, overtime pay.
And why are we doing this?
Currently, we have already spent, what is it, 80%?
Close to the 10,000.
Close to the $10,000 overtime, and we're not just wasting it. And we have guys that have, I mean, a total of our guys' comp time right now is 354 hours, so almost 9 weeks of comp time. So we're trying to look out for that, saying, can we dip into this so we don't have everybody off taking all this comp time? We have so many things going on right now.
Do you only allow so many people off at a time, or how do you?
We try to limit to 1 or 2, because we have so many other things going on.
We had unusual levels of snow this.
Snow, water main breaks, the water plant, lift station stuff, it's been crazy this year. So,
How soon do you expect to get to the 15,000?
They went to 80%, 4 months,
Right.
5 months.
I mean, so we almost have one guy off for 9 weeks of time would be short one guy. We need to start using that for 1 to get under our 60 hours. But for 2, I mean, the overtime is not gonna stop right now. You've got weekend checks, you got, call outs that have been happening. We just put a new water treatment plant online and we don't know what's gonna happen with that. So, the guys aren't being wasteful on it, trust me, it's just, there's a lot of moving pieces right now. So,
I will say this, the time that I've been off, and been down here and seeing the guys, they are busy. They are on the move every day.
I mean, it doesn't help too that I was out for a while. We had another employee out for a while on medical. That doesn't help either.
The next item I have is for the redevelopment commission. It's a certificate regarding tax increment replacement, and they will not be seeking any more tax replacement dollars or levy in 2027. And then just another update that's not on here, but we did submit the Safe Streets for All grant that we discussed at last month's meeting for $120,000. So we'll wait to see if we are awarded that grant. Oh, I should also mention, we're getting audited on just our normal process of auditing Phil and Rob. Sat in on our audit entrance meeting. State Board of Accounts has, for a few years now, used third-party sources, which Crow is one of their regular third-party people. They will be doing our audit for 23, 24, and 25. So that's just starting. Just to make you all aware of it.
Do they come in here to do that?
Typically they do. I've had 2
remember that.
audits since I've been in office, and State Board of Accounts has done both of them. Crow will be mostly remote, is my understanding, so it'll be, have a little different feel. I'll scan and send a lot of documents to them. It'll probably be in, so.
Aren't they auditing things that we just audited? When you and I sat through the last one?
Well, they could have audited 23.
I thought they did 23 and 24.
I think it was just as it in 24.
When they come in here for the audit, when they're leaving, they have to do a disclosure.
I can look back and make sure, but
Yeah, just seemed redundant with it's the government. So.
The thing is, it's not cheap on our end to pay for that.
yeah, I'm hoping that this can be more remote that bring the price down a little bit. We'll see. It's required, so no way around it.
Okay. ELZ?
Four pay apps this month. The first two are for the water treatment plant. So for DLZ, 42,000 and change, and our Yoder, 455,000. For our Yoder, we're getting closer to the end of the project. So balance to finish after this pay app is about 1.1 million, and that's including retainage. The next two are for the Keystone Lift Station project, which Ruth Riley right now is just finishing up a couple of punch list items. They had been working last week, so they're almost done. I understand they did seeding today, so they just have a couple of things left to do. So the DLZ invoice is for about 3,500. Most of that is associated with the NDOT settlement monitoring plan, because we did a jack and bore under State Road 19. They had to verify that there wasn't any change to the roadway, and that came back and was passed by NDOT. And then there is a pay app from Ruth Riley for 272,000 and change, and they still have 250,000 balance to finish, including retainage, which they should be able, if they submit for, they should be able to be done here pretty soon. Any questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alex?
New water treatment plant was put online today, this morning, so I sent you guys all text messages so you guys can be aware. Hopefully everything runs smoothly. I just checked before the meeting, everything's looking good. So it cycled a couple times today, no hiccups. So still some stuff to do with the plant, but it's running. So we're gonna run the old plant and the new plant side by side for a couple weeks, make sure we have no hiccups, and then we'll get decommissioning the old plant. So very near future. So that needs to happen soon. It's time. So we have an employee that's going to be getting deployed in August. And we have another employee that's retiring. The deployment is approximately a 13-month deployment. So we're gonna go from 7 guys to 5 guys. I'd like to hire to replace the retiring employee. And then we'll have 6 guys, and when the deployment comes back, we'll be back to 7. 7's been a great number. We usually divide and conquer, 3 guys in streets and parks and 3 guys in utilities. So it's been a great number. So I'd like to tomorrow ask permission to advertise for that, because it'll take some time to train them. A lot of the things that a deployment individual does is locates, takes a lot of learning where utilities are, and that would be a huge downfall if we didn't train them properly with the amount of time we have. All our assets, prevent them from getting hit. So that's what I'd like to ask for tomorrow. Any questions on that?
I think I already asked you my questions. I was under the impression that when we brought our last employee on, it was to replace our retiring employee, not to keep another, not to add another one.
I understand that. And then we're gonna go 13 months, 1 employee short.
Yeah, and I get that.
So we have a lot of still big things going on. Lead service line identification. If we don't do that, it's gonna cost the community millions of dollars. And also pond improvements. Those are 2 big projects that we're doing in Public Works that are helping save money that we're doing in-house versus hiring somebody.
What about a vehicle for that person?
We will not do that until the retirement retires. Move on, so then we'll be back to the same number, plus we'll have the other truck when our deployment individual is deployed. So we would just say, look, not right now, and when the time comes, you'll have one. But for now, no. So. Any other questions on that? Okay. The other thing I wanna talk about is there's actually I'm gonna hopefully work with Charlie. There's an alleyway behind the Public Works garage that meets up between the Public Works facility building, the south building, and Brown Grounds property. That barn's been torn down back there. Brown would like to put a fence up. I would like to ask permission to vacate that alleyway. Because it's not used anymore as an alleyway, there's no utilities in there. So it helped Brown out a little bit, and we just split the property line across the alleyway. So that they can put a fence up, they want to secure off their area and put a fence up, so.
So the house at the corner then on Wabash, what would,
This would only be going east of the alleyway that runs north and south. It wouldn't go all the way across Sam's property, nothing like that. This is just vacating between Public Works and Brown.
So from Indiana to the alley.
No, so there's a north and south alley. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess Indiana to the north and south alley, which is directly south of Public Works and directly north of Brown. There used to be a barn, 2 barns there. There was a dedicated alleyway there. And it actually continues past Sam's place up to Wabash. We're only gonna stop at the alleyway because there's still utilities that go north from that alleyway. So we'd like to work with Charlie on vacating that section. So
I think that's a good idea.
yeah, and then just split the property, that alleyway between Brown and the town. It's typically what you do when you vacate it, split it evenly. So, and that's all I have for now. The guys have been running the new Hustler mower. It's phenomenal. It's cut their time down significantly. The telehandler's been working out great. The guys love it. It's been a great tool, especially since we never had a forklift really. We had skid steer with fork, which is different. Able to do top shelves. We had the grapple bucket for it. The guys actually were cleaning up the stick pile at the shop for all the brush. One big scoop filled the dump truck. So instead of 18 little scoops with the backhoe, it made it really nice. So, and that's all I have.
Letter that's in here,
What's that?
the letter that's in your folder. Want to talk about that tonight?
I think we would like to, since it's a personnel, I wonder if we can declare a executive session to discuss that. That's up to you guys. Unless you guys want to openly talk about,
No, it's your call.
okay. I would like a executive session for it if it's deemed appropriate. I'm trying to.
Yeah, Bob. Look at that. Executive session statute.
Since it involves an individual employee, I'm hoping it'll be, we can, yeah, in the executive.
Right.
if we do an exec session, can we also talk salaries then for next year and not make a decision with the department heads? I mean, I'd like to hear their, what that's saying. I mean, I know we have 2 that you guys attended the meeting or whatever, but I don't know anything about it, and I'd like to hear what the heads, why they're, I don't know, or I'd like to talk about it too. It's a big decision.
That's all I have for now. So, thank you.
You bet, Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're up.
Me or Tim?
I'm sorry. I was writing stuff down beside
One again.
the police department, public works.
Used to when John doesn't trust me.
Yeah. I apologize.
As you can see, there's a letter in my folder in regards to June 1st, marking the 6-month semi-annual pay, clothing allowance for the reserves. I'm requesting Craig Brubaker for $600, Kenny Moles for $300, because Kenny did 3 months worth of work, and then he had some health issues and who has since resigned. So I'd like to recognize the 3 months he's worked for that amount of $300. Silas Grossman, Brian Gonzalez, and Cal May come also for $600. So the amount of $2,700 to be paid out this time period. And then on a personal note, I'm sure if he was sitting here, he wouldn't mind, but yet would be very embarrassed about it. But just some prayers sent out to Craig Brubaker. He's undergoing some health issues. So just send out some prayers for him. That's all I got. Sweet and simple.
Thank you.
Thank you. Or any questions for me?
Other than the fact that I think you and your crossing guards did an awesome job this year.
Thank you. I think we were all ready for a break. I know they were for sure. So it worked out really well. It really did. It was a program that paid for itself, I think, and that you agree with that.
I do agree with that.
Thank you.
Rob.
I say most of you saw this in your Google Drive. We did submit for request for proposal and qualifications with the cooperation of JVK, and published it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks it's been in the paper, and we did receive one proposal and list of qualifications, and that came from our Yoder in cooperation with JVK Development. I don't know if you all had a chance to look at that, but it's basically a very thorough presentation. I have a hard copy here, and I can probably make a hard copy available if you need something to be replaced on the Google Drive. But just wanted to open that up for any questions or comments. About the Hinder Longer initiative. This is in particular regarding Walker's Athletic Complex. So the pickleball courts, and the basketball courts, and all the proposal, everything that proposal would possibly look like with that method of delivery being vetoed. I will also say that regarding our Yoder, they're the only ones that did submit. We submitted to, we put the request out. They're the only ones that actually did respond, but we also had an interview with our Yoder today, just kind of a
Project review.
yeah, it was a project review, and it was a very beneficial interview to sit through. But basically, what we did was we just kind of went back through the last nearly 2 years with the water treatment project, and we talked about just answered questions regarding their professionalism, their efficiency, their ability to stay on schedule, actually to work ahead of schedule, and their overall performance. And it was a good, maybe half hour or so, maybe 45-minute interview. But with that project, I think they displayed a tremendous amount of capability and professionalism with with the work that they provided, especially given the fact that they were in a water treatment facility before. So they really became students of that particular facet of the industry and did a great job for us. And I'm sure the DLC would agree with that. So knowing that they're the only ones that did respond to this, it's a fairly comprehensive, it's a comprehensive list of qualifications, and then if you look down through it, you can see it's almost like a resume of all the different projects that they've done, similar projects they've done in the past, whether it was Warsaw, Wabash, or wherever it happened to be, in the city of Napanee, city of Wabash, and other projects, Neutron, Michigan, and other similar type of projects that they've done in the past, similar to what we're proposing, or the work we're wanting to have done in the Walker Recent Athletic Complex. So as you look that over, if you've had time to look it over, I was just curious if there's any questions. I find them to be definitely a solid contractor.
Is what's on our drive, is this all that they submitted?
All this is, we asked for a request for
Qualifications?
qualifications, and that's all they did. So now the next step, and chime in if you want to, the next step is for them to work hand in hand with JVK as the developer to determine the most economical way they can actually produce this particular project. Is that pretty good?
Yep.
And what would suit us best as a community, we would be able to determine what we like, what we don't like, and we have more control over the overall price of said project. So, but it's considering everything, the site preparation, any drainage issues, which we've already addressed. So if they propose something and we think that we can get it done cheaper, then that's what we do. But everything from whether it's asphalt or concrete, everything, the sidewalks, it concerns itself with everything that it would cost to complete that project. And then we have a GMP, which is GMP, what's the name?
Guaranteed max price.
Max price, thank you. Guaranteed max price. We would never pay more than set amount once we agreed upon that.
And at that stage, there will be the document that the council will have the opportunity to award or accept.
So what they're gonna do at this point is just move forward and determine how much will it cost, what will it look like, and so on and so forth. And then we would decide whether or not we decide to move forward.
How's the fundraising doing? Have we heard back on any of the other outstanding?
We've not heard back on any grants. I was hoping that we'd hear back from Main Street America by tonight, but would not. And then the Ready Grant, we won't hear back until early July. Of that. And then we did talk to Ray from Elkhart Community Foundation, and he was looking at the Book Gardens project that they gave us a $25,000 grant for. And he said that project's well underway and invited us to apply with the hint of a larger grant with the pickleball courts, which reopened July 1st. And then donations, we had 7,000 more come in this month, which makes our total just over 22,000 in donations.
And grant.
And then grant money would be 30,000. Yes,
Officially received?
yes.
Any questions on this particular document?
The, art commission, Indiana Art Commission that they went to for, training and, grant money. They, had a press release where they highlighted Wakarusa, on the state website, state commissioners. They really loved the Linger Longer initiative, as well as, the selected projects that we're working towards, and, nice piece that we linked on Facebook. Haven't seen it, check that out.
And I mentioned this in an earlier meeting, we're now on a lot of these grant agencies, we're on their radar. We got an invitation just today from the ECBD to submit an application for grant money for the ongoing Linger Longer project. Hey, please fill this out, we sent it in, I'm gonna give you something to go in 30 seconds, we sent it in. That'll probably bring in $1,000. So we're getting the invitations to submit. We're learning more about the grant money process. Evidently, that's something that's relatively new to the town of Wakarusa, just in terms of getting the invitations, and people know that we're out there and that we're in business and we're making improvements and so on and so forth. So in terms of other donations, there's still large companies out there that we're waiting to hear from. We just haven't heard yet. But we have a method of follow-up that we're implementing to see how that all goes. But at this juncture, the projects are moving along. If you go drive by the Quilt Garden, you can see that they're making market progress with that. And obviously, they made market progress. This isn't part of Linger Longer, but the roof project, thankfully, is nearing completion. We're just waiting for metal to come in and go on the parapet, and then they'll do the signage and they'll put some gooseneck lights out there. This project should be completed before the end of June, and we're hoping the Quilt Garden is as well. But they ran into some other issues and whatnot. But they're making slow but steady progress with that. Again, we're at the Elkhart County Convention and Visitors Bureau. They're already starting to kick in interest for that. They've already committed $20,000 for projects or events to take place there, whether it's art displays or hosting bands or other forms of entertainment that can take place at that newly created place for gathering and connecting. So we're excited about what's going to come with that, and we continue to plug forward and just keep going out and asking for people to get more involved. That's one of the things that's, I think, a little frustrating at this point, but I think it's still very early in the project. So
And Lisa's been filling out your grants, right?
It's been helping, yeah.
yeah, she's been helping quite a bit.
She's very good at proofreading.
Yes,
Very,
very,
good.
very on top of
Almost
it.
annoying.
She'll
Yeah.
get her
Almost
pen out. She will do her thing.
She does a great job with it.
If you don't have any questions, I will say one of the things that Tim and I are working on is just some of the concerns we have about overgrown properties, and that you and I've had this conversation for, it seems like ever now. But there are several properties in town that we really want to address in terms of cleaning up. I've talked to Alex about what we need to do to get involved, where we just go in and clean it up and then send them a bill. There's also a number of, well, I can think of 2 properties that might be very interested in selling, which would be something that we could talk about as well. I know the company has some kind of a program where they'll go, I don't know if it's with their RBC or exactly how it works, but they procure properties. I think many of them are commercial, downtown commercial buildings that they can renovate. You and I have talked about this, Colin, you and I have talked about it. But I'm wondering if there's something that we can drill down on a little bit more and come up with some details regarding how we might address some of the blighted buildings in our downtown corridor, commercial structures. But then what are some things that we can do more immediately regarding residences that need to have their yards mowed and have the trash picked up? And just what can we do to lend a hand so that the place doesn't look, so the town doesn't look as overgrown as it currently does. There's probably 5 or 6 properties right now that are just really, really need attention. So that's going to be something that Tim and I have talked about. He's trying to arrest me today if we don't deal with one in particular. So, but.
I don't think that's what I said.
I've heard that in 2 meetings, far worse, far worse. It was much stronger than just arresting. It was, I prefer the jail time, to be honest with you, as opposed to the alternative, but it's a family show here, so I'm gonna go there. But, no, but it's to a point where we absolutely have to address it. And we, because things that we've done in the past just haven't really worked. I mean, we can do something and we can issue a fine and they go, you gotta expect me to take away my birthday, I'm not gonna pay your fine. So what we can do is maybe put some more teeth to it. That's moving forward. That's another.
I did actually today have someone contact me that had seen our post on Facebook that Sam suggested we do with the ordinance, that they weren't even aware of it, and they have a plan for their property. So, I need to check with Alex about that, because a lot of it's brush.
But if there are no other questions, that's what I've got.
And the one out this direction, the business owner would like to buy that.
Yeah.
So
I missed the beginning of the meeting. There is a first series of concerts going on downtown, starting Saturday for a shortstop. That is put on by the chamber now, as shortstop had started that. The chamber has gotten some grant money, and so that will be the first of a few coming up. So sorry about the late delay on that, and
Along with those and all those that are happening, we really need to look at that DORA.
if you need help with it, I'm happy to, now that I have time to sit down and help look at that for you.
I've talked with Chad about it as well.
That way the I's are dotted, T's are crossed.
And Chad has submitted everything that he needs to with the ATC and everything, so they've already got all that taken care of as well for this weekend.
So do they have other dates for like street pleasures that
We
we
don't-
already know of?
We don't yet.
Okay.
We will have a few more, but we're looking to some tailgates also when we get done. We're gonna try and do 2 of those at least this year too.
You've seen in my notes, the upcoming event, June 27th. It's actually gonna begin July, or June 26th, America at the Ballpark. We wanna really celebrate the Lonergan family this year for their 50-plus years of an amazing Little League baseball program. And so they're, as they typically do, their last Friday night of their baseball season, they do fireworks. Tom actually provides fireworks for that event. So the games are done, they shoot out the lights, and then they do fireworks. We're going to include a DJ this year playing live patriotic, not live, but DJ music and patriotic music. So we're gonna have big speakers out there, and they're gonna do that. And so we're excited about that. That will then lead into the very next day, which is the 27th, which is what we're calling Celebrate America, America's 250th. Where we're going to kick the morning off with, sorry for all of you who dwell in town, a cannon blast at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Awesome.
6. It'd be really fun if it would be 6
On
o'clock.
Tim's lawn.
They would line up at that door going, but that'd be fun. So at 9 o'clock, we're gonna have the Historical Society blast the cannon at 9 o'clock. Then we're gonna have a parade. We're reinstituting an Independence Day parade at 10 o'clock. It's gonna start down at Wildcat I already talked with Tim about this, and it's gonna come right up, Elkhart Street, it's gonna turn west on Waterford, and it's gonna go north on Washington Street, go back out by the school and all that, and then it's gonna end right where it started. But, Raymond Fire Department's coming, our entire Public Works Department will be there. The prayer is that we put out, flyers to every single one of the baseball players that's involved with Walker's Baseball League. So each one of them got a flyer in their hat and a shirt packet. It's inviting them to participate in that parade with their team shirts on. And then as they pass through the downtown, we'll have a stage where they're gonna be announcing every float, every entry that comes by. But we really want to recognize 50+ years of Walker's baseball. I think we're gonna get the crib car cruise. We want, the advertisement is going out for, if you have a golf cart, you need to decorate that thing as patriotically as you can and enter it into the parade. And there's gonna be other things going on, but Raymond Fire Department is gonna be here. They're also going to help us host the water ball competition. I don't know if you've ever seen that water ball competition, but we're gonna line up 2 big cement trucks and stretch a cable across and put a steel ball in the center, and then we're gonna have fire hose battles, pushing that ball back and forth. They did it in Napanee. When I was a kid, it was one of the coolest things and wettest things ever, but it was really, really cool. There's gonna be food trucks, there's gonna be live bands on the stage throughout the entire day. There's Trent Dean's gonna be here, Trent Conway's gonna be here filling in, DJ music and so on and so forth. Pie eating contest, pickle eating contest, you can find out the liability for that. Pickle eating contest, and
Should we call Joey Chestnut? I know a guy.
So we're really looking forward to that. It's going out, also, the notice is going out to every single person that gets a water bill, and then we're doing a mass mailing to every resident in the town of Wakarusa. So please come on down, bring your family, and attend. Just be here and celebrate, and we're praying that it doesn't rain. June 27th.
I think we could have a nice tie-in with Wakarusa, the Maple Syrup Festival, and this new parade. Let's have a maple syrup chugging contest. It's gonna be a slow contest. We need to bring up that whole liability.
As long as they're chugging maple syrup. But I remember when I was a kid in Napanee, and we would do, like, there was a huge Memorial Day parade, and everybody in town came out, and it was like one of those perfect movie scenes where there was hot dogs, and there was apple pie, and there was Chevrolets everywhere. That's made me really struggle as a Ford man, but the reality is it was a cool thing to do as a community. We've got 2,000 people that live here, and we could literally see 400 or 500. If the kids participate from the baseball program, we could see 400 or 500 kids alone in the parade. If even half of them show up, a couple hundred kids in the parade with their parents, we would love to see several hundred people downtown throughout the day. But there's going to be jazz music. There's going to be the 55s, which is the band from Northwood. They're really good. For a bunch of high school kids, they're really, really good. They're going to be featured. There's a Joel Young band. They're going to do 2 45 to 60-minute sets out of Fort Wayne. You might see some bluegrass up there. How many of you know Claire? Help me out. Claire Wilson, Ben's daughter.
Claire.
You know Claire? She's going to be doing 45-minute set, 30 to 45-minute set. So it's going to be a fun day. So we really we've got banners out at the ball diamonds right now, so they're looking at the banners, but there's going to be signs, whatnot posted around. So anybody that wants to be involved in any of that, if you have a neighbor, if you yourself have a golf cart, please decorate it, go on down. Oh, there's going to be roasted corn, farmer's market, probably a cruise in. So there you have it. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if they still have it, but when my parents had the estate sale, the Elkhart County Parks Department bought my dad's Surrey that he built, and the fire department and I don't know exactly who all worked with the park department. They made it into a float, and it's benches and it's for the park department in memory of my parents, but it's to celebrate families. I don't know if they still have that
Where would it
available.
be?
The Parks Department, Elkhart. If they still have it, I have no idea. I don't keep track of it.
Well, I was talking to Trent Gunwood, and he said there is something along those lines, which I would love to, I need to talk to Tad, but the very first cooker that Nelson built for pork and chicken is somewhere on their property. And I'd love to get that with one of their trucks and pull that through the parade. And just celebrate Walkers. We got a lot to be proud of. We got a lot to celebrate. So I want to bring that tradition back. And you can share your idea, because I think this is a great
No.
idea.
At the lake, we're doing pier contests for 250 years.
Doing
It would be
pork
cool to
contests.
do a house decoration contest.
Oh, house cleanup, no.
House cleanup contest. That's actually a great idea.
That's even better, but
We could incentivize
I thought it might
prize.
be kind of cool to do that.
No, but anyway, so that's in the works, and I'm realizing how much time and energy it takes to plan all that, but it's really interesting that you get some of you get Katie Moore, who's amazing, she's with our farmers market, Andrea Miller, and all these others that are just saying, hey, reach out to the
Are we advertising that all on our Maple Syrup site? We have all those followers on there.
Brock has put it out there, I think, I'm not quite sure. I need to double check.
We need to make sure we do that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
thousands and thousands.
Yeah, So,
We can encourage the businesses to decorate. so
Yes, we want-
downtown is going
well, we
to-
want the businesses to, first of all, be there and be open. So that's critical. But yeah, anything that they could do, there's gonna be a stage, probably about a 30-foot stage, and it's gonna be live all day long. We're gonna have a speaker, he's a former Marine and he works for Goshen Police Department right now. I can't think of his last name.
Bontrager.
Thank you, Jim Bontrager. He's gonna come and talk for, have you heard him before, Tim? 20, 30 minutes, probably 15, 20 minutes.
Jim,
However long you want.
you got it narrowed down to 30 minutes?
Don't tell me that, I know.
You're gonna have to set a time.
Well, I said
I'm
about
telling you
15,
right
20
now.
minutes.
It's like playing the music to start playing, like the award ceremony.
It's like the thing.
Thank you, Rock.
But when we present, they're gonna march through with the parade, and we're gonna present colors, and we want that preceded with bagpipes, so we got a couple bagpipe players that are gonna usher the colors in, and so on and so forth. Steve Huntsberger is going to probably sing the national anthem and some other patriotic tunes to kind of kick the day off, but then it's gonna be pretty much an open, just, there's like four live acts that are playing, so it should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. We're trying to figure out where to put the water ball. I think I might only 1, 2, 3. Probably the best place to put it, and then we put the farmers market on South Bell Park. But yeah, that's what's looking ahead 30 to 45 days.
Okay. Charlie, do you have an answer?
Letter, yes, and then I need more information on your issue or
Okay,
question.
do you want that now, or?
Sure.
Okay, so I was thinking, I mean, just as, I know that they've discussed salary with the heads for next year. I'd kind of like to be able to hear what the head, so we just get a paper that tells us. We can't talk about it all.
Plan your own meeting with the heads.
Yes.
Okay.
because You can't do,
Even if it's just,
general
it's not paid.
budgeting in an executive session.
Okay,
Sorry.
no, that's okay.
Do we need to set an executive session for next week? Yeah, do you want to do it sooner than next week?
No, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Only I can't really do is Mondays.
So what time do we do it?
Katie, when are you out of town?
The only day I can do it is the 11th. I can sit out if needed.
I could do the 11th.
What time do you guys want to shoot for?
4:30. I'm good with that.
I'm good with 4:30.
I can make anything work on there. Yeah.
I can take anything out before work on the 11th.
4:30?
4:30.
The 11th. I just.
Phil, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Rocco?
Just going through my notes from both meetings today, Greg. I think everything else is not for me. We're good.
Katie had asked that I get some estimates together for the fire station and the ambulance for next year, what we're gonna have to budget, 30,000 this year to use. I met with Millwood, I don't know if they've gotten that back to us yet.
Jeffrey Acton is.
So in the ceiling area, the fire station offices and the common area there, the insulation matting has completely fallen down and is laying on the ceiling tiles. It's created condensation on the tiles. And as we looked at it, their heat never shut off last winter. So he feels like because of that batting falling, that the heat ducts are running through there and that they're, freezing over and then they get hot and then they drip. And that's part of the reason. Anyhow, I'm also meeting with Zimmerman's to get an estimate on that same thing and what their opinion of that is. I also did call Moppers, thank you. Mopar. Message.
Hand me up there.
To Dodge. Anyhow, they're gonna come out too. They don't know if there's a lot they can do, but they wanna look at it. Then I also met with the ambulance department has requested sign mount garage door openers. They are looking at getting a new ambulance fairly soon, next year or so. And they've test drove a couple and put them in there. And with the overhead opener that's there, they can't get it in there. So they'd like a side mount. So I had Industrial Door come out, they gave us an estimate. The doors that are in there have a rear mount tension spring, which is not normal anymore. Lightner Door came out and said that they won't give me an estimate on a side mount because of the rear mount tension springs. They said too often they fail and they don't want to do that on an ambulance bay. So they suggested that we would have to raise the ceiling height to get about 15 inches more headroom up there and install a standard lift track with top mount springs on that door. Anyhow, and I'm gonna contact one of their garage door company to come give us see if, what their opinion of it is. We have one saying one thing and one saying another, so I don't know what to do. Zimmerman's Construction I'm meeting with tomorrow, and they're gonna give us an estimate on the insulation and ceiling tiles and all that stuff too. I met with Joel Schroyer, for the cement work around the drains at the fire station and in the ambulance bays. The concrete is breaking away from the drains. It's just been lack of maintenance on it. The floor hasn't been sealed. I don't even know when, ever, a long time. And so they need to break that old cement out and fix it before we would seal the floor. And then I also have Tom Zellmeyer coming at the end of this week to give an estimate on that. While Millwood got up on the roof to make sure there wasn't a roof issue, they noticed that on our chimney at the fire station, some of the bricks are starting to deface. And they suggested that we have somebody come look at that and then seal that. So, I don't know, we'll see what the costs come in.
And the chimney's basically for
The fire hoses.
the hanging fire hoses.
Yeah.
Fire was dried out.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I hope to have that all together.
A lot of stuff.
The other thing we did try, Katie and I tried to figure out was with my iPad or your iPad to try to put anything into our Google Drive attached. It's not working.
Migrated to it.
Yeah, and we need to look
Yes.
at getting something different. I've had this since
Well,
the first.
yes. Yes. My battery doesn't last very long
Yeah.
anymore, so.
That sounds like a lot of work that you can figure out how long that station's been there.
Yeah.
There's not been much done to it since it was built.
Right.
It's not surprising that there's not more
Yeah,
need.
anyhow, that's all.
Yes, thank you. Okay, anybody else? All right, see y'all tomorrow night.
I didn't-
The